listening to the recording, which is also fantastic. But having been here this early means you're here for some of the setup. So I've got to approve some people to come up here and be part of our spaces today. We've got guests on the agenda, as you can see from the title today. It's going to be a little bit busy. It says Weekly DAO Update 16, but it also says SHIB Speaks, first ever VC with SHIB token. Boy, oh boy. I'm excited to be here today with you. I'm in the K9 Finance account. My name is Pulse Digital, or Crypto Pulse 9 here on X. I am just a DAO member like you guys. I'm the voice of the DAO, so I get to host these things. I get to do the X spaces. So that's why I'm up here with you today. But I'm going to have up here with me a whole nother host of people who are all part of the K9 Finance community in their own capacity, helping build out the brand and build out the tech and stuff like that. But we're also going to have a very special guest here. This is not just a normal weekly update. We're actually going to have the SHIB token account here today, and they are scheduled to speak with us. Now, this is a first-time event, and I'm not trying to put them on the spot or anything, because I'm gonna make you guys simmer for just a little bit. They're not going to talk right away. I've got some stuff up front before we're going to throw the spotlight over them, but I'm so excited for them to have chosen to speak with us today, speak here with us about them, about what they've been doing, how they got where they are, and then they're going to be, explaining how they ended up in this spaces today. So we're going to have guests from all over the place. Look through the listeners. Look who shows up. This is a very anticipated event. So we got a couple more minutes, and then I'm going to do a great big room reset. We're going to pretend like the whole filling in part doesn't happen and stuff like that. So let me check microphones real quick. I'm going to ask everybody but the SHIB account to make sure their microphone works, because I'm just not going to let them speak yet. You guys are going to have to cook. But I'm going to run through the list. Buzz.
Guys, I'm gonna mute my mic for a minute and just let this dude go ahead and talk. If you're just coming in, right, this live stream's a little bit earlier than normal because the SHIB token Twitter account is speaking for the very first time. If you want me to add anything else to the screen, just let me know in the chat right now. Since it's a little bit earlier than normal, I don't know if I'm going to be, sitting here actively discussing. I am going to let them go ahead and talk while they're doing it, just kind of listening and so on. So, yeah, I don't know. If you want to see it on Twitter, if you want to see it out on X, it's literally nothing when you're just listening to a space. It's just like a podcast. It's all audio. So we got the SHIB price on the screen right now. We can watch that, see if they do anything to that. Otherwise, we're just going to sit back, listen to the very first time the Shiba Inu token X account ever speaks. This is, in my opinion, not the best idea, but we will see how this goes here. So I'm going to go ahead and mute my mic. I'll be sitting here watching the chat, I think. I may take the camera off for a second. I don't know. Might have to go get some more coffee, see what we're doing here. But let's listen and see what they got going on, man.
I think it's important. I'm always advocating the hydration. Sometimes taking an intentional nap is actually a health benefit. So you get the pass from me today. If anybody asks why you're asleep on the couch when we get done. I got a few more spots, a few more requests, a few more minutes before we're going to kick off the reset. And
also, because I have no idea what you guys can hear, let me know if I need to adjust the volume or anything like that. So he says, get the cat on the screen. I have to find the cat, Michael Allen. I have to find the cat. Let me know if their audio is good and all that. I have no idea if what their audio sounds like, but I'm taking my mic back off.
You can have a few spots, but you know what it takes. Now, what can you do for me as a listener before I do the room reset? Comments in the bottom right corner. That's the first thing you can do. If you're not going to get into a speaker spot, check out the bottom right corner. I need the number to go up. You guys know how crypto works. Number go up. I need all the comments you can give me. SHIB stuff, K9 stuff about what you're doing, stuff about what you're having for dinner. I don't care. It's all good for the algorithm. Have a conversation with yourselves. Just get some comments down there. I want to see double digits, and let's get triple digits by the halfway point. So when we do the reset, we'll check that out. You can also share the spaces, share it on your timeline, tell everybody you were here. You can also send a DM. If you know somebody that's very interested in the subject, you should send them a DM. It's usually better at getting people to join the space with a DM directly. So that's a great way to do that. Last is emojis, which I've seen a few. I could see more. They're still free. You guys can use emojis. They're good for the algorithm. Let us know that you can hear the spaces. Let us know you like the conversation and stuff like that. So if everybody's ready, microphones all sounded good to me. I see most of our speakers are here in place. I know that there are still invites out pending, but I'm ready to do the reset if you guys are ready to rock and roll. You ready? Emojis and thumbs up. Let's go. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another K9 Finance Weekly Dow Update Spaces number 16 this week, but not a normal weekly Dow update. We are here today with the SHIB token account. We're going to have the first ever VC today featuring the SHIB token account, not just as a speaker, not just as a listener, but we're actually going to talk today. Super excited. So look through the listeners. It's a veritable who's who of the Shiba Inu community and the greater K9 community at large. And now myself, as K9 Finance, this is the reminder up front. I'm not really K9 Finance. I'm just Pulse Digital. I'm just the guy that gets to host the spaces. So anything I say while I'm up here, it's just me being me, just fortunate enough to be the guy that hosts the spaces. So I'm just representing myself, but I do get to speak for a lot of the community too. But we have people from our community that are here to give you updates, development updates, forum updates, things that are going on for marketing and stuff like that. And I'm going to make you sit through at least the juiciest part of that before we talk to SHIB, because that's how anticipation works. You got to build it. So first we're going to talk to Buzz about the things he's been developing. Then we're going to talk to Turtle about the things that are going on in the forum. Then we're going to talk to a few other people about the buy contest. The buy contest, I said it twice so it wasn't just lost in the blockchain. And we're going to go over the details related to that. And then once we've gone through some of the meat, we're going to get to the SHIB token interview. You guys, I know that's why most of you are here, so stick around. Go through some of these big updates with the community. This is what we do every week, is the weekly Dow updates. But this week, it's special. So up front, I can't wait to give the microphone to Buzz, our developer, our co-founder, and the guy that everybody comes to see. Buzz, the microphone's yours, man. Welcome to Spaces with SHIB Token today.
Hey, thanks everyone for being here. I mean, I'm also giddy and excited. Had the opportunity to speak with the person behind the SHIB account to kind of hear some of those stories. And for me, as somebody who joined this community just last August and learning about Shibarium at Eth Toronto, some of these stories are they're almost like mythical in nature. It's really cool to hear about people who have been around the SHIB community so long, and only hope that K9 can help carry that torch and sort of a vision that was put out very early and very much so. I'm eager to hear what is to be said here today.
I'm very excited too, and I'm very excited for you to get a chance to ask a couple of questions and have some public conversation too, just because I know you'll have some great stuff. I go back to 21 when I started in crypto, so my relationship with SHIB goes all the way back to 21, and I've watched a lot of stuff between now and then. So I think we're all excited for our own reasons, and everybody's got their own journey. And I want to be clear that I intend to put none of the weight of anybody's experiences with Shiba Inu token on the person that's behind this account. I cannot be more clear up front than letting you guys know that this is just a person behind this account. And there's no gravity behind anything that anyone's individual experience might have been here. And we're just here to have a good time. So if you violate my rule number 1 about having a good time today, I'm not going to stand for it. We're here to kick it off and have a good time today and meet this person and let them be welcomed into our community, because they busted their hump to maintain this account and build up over 3 million followers. And we're going to throw some flowers today. So I'm glad to have everybody else here on the same page as Buzz and me. And Turtle, are you just as excited to be here to do forum updates? I know you are.
Hey, if it's about the forum, you know I'm pumped, and really
Dude,
just about
all
the
I
DAO
gotta
proposal.
say,
But
man,
yeah,
flowers.
It's great to have the SHIB account here. I share all Buzz's sentiment and appreciate you and everyone else who's come today. As far as the forum, would you like me to share a bit about where we're at this week and what's coming?
Well, where we left off last week, for those of you that are tuning in from last week's episode, remember it's like a soap opera. You got to stay up to date. Where we left off last week was there was some talk about the burn debate, and there was talk about some liquidity proposals and stuff. So pick up where we left off. Assume that someone might have known a little bit about what we're doing here, right? So don't go too deep, but yeah, pick it up.
Yeah, perfect. So for anyone
right, man, it doesn't matter at all. The kid that's behind the SHIB token Twitter account running a $20 billion business here. That don't matter at all, guys.
I help move things through and keep the systems on track. So for this week, we actually have our roundtable of dogs call coming tomorrow, and that'll be our second roundtable call. And just kind of zooming out, the process is a proposal comes into the forum, lives there for a few days or a few weeks, and then each month our roundtable gets together, which is comprised of advisors and stakeholders in the project, and they review the proposals. And if they pass the roundtable, they move to snapshot for voting. And so with that said, we left off last week talking about the ape bond proposal, which is essentially like a liquidity bond. We also spoke about the potential burn day and some of the hesitations and positive remarks that have come in the forum there. And treasury management came up last week. In addition to those, we have at least, I think, yeah, we have 8 total proposals that'll be reviewed in the roundtable tomorrow, which also include a few technical plays and marketing plays that I could get into deeper, but I'd rather people dive into the forum and kind of see them before they go live tomorrow. But as you mentioned, Ape Bond received a lot of attention last week. We were able to have them with us. If anyone has kind of final questions before the roundtable reviews that proposal or the treasury management proposal or some of the other key ones, today is pretty much your final day to get those into the forum before the roundtable reviews everything.
Excellent. And normally we might, if we had a little less going on today, go deeper into this stuff on our calls. So depending on your level of interest in these DAO things, really the best place is going to be is.
All right, so anybody that's newly coming in right now, what these guys are doing right now, this is the Canine Finance kind of DAO weekly discussion or whatever. I don't know when, right? It should be pretty soon. I don't know how long their talks normally go on. So if somebody wants to keep you guys updated in the chat so that I don't have to keep, like, muting their mic, talking on my mic, muting their mic, and talking on my mic and something, just let them know that the SHIB token Twitter account is going to speak for the very first time, most likely at the end of their X space here. So, like, Tyler wants to know, what's this about? The SHIB token Twitter account, for some reason or another, is trying to speak for the first time in an X live stream or an X space today, and the Canine Finance DAO is the one hosting the event, so they're going to go through all of their stuff, all their updates first, and then they're going to bring this kid on. I hope he does well. I do hope he does well, man. I really do. Live streaming is not easy. I have no idea what this kid's background is. I know he's not going to be fielding any questions or anything like that. They never field any questions. It's always softballs for these dudes. So I just hope, man, that he leaves people with a very good impression. Because when you are running, right, and he is running the account for a multi-billion-dollar token, people have to believe in you. Okay, if they don't believe in this kid, if he comes out there, if he botches it, if he chokes, if he does whatever, it's gonna be very tough. So, hopefully, I really do hope he does a very good job. I don't think it was a good idea for him to do this, but I hope he does a good job. So, somebody update everybody on what's going on, just so you guys know, and I don't have to keep muting the mic.
Going to be auditory people. I think of Radar in our community. You guys know Radar is sight impaired, so the audio stuff makes such a huge impact for him, and being able to push audio to him is more valuable. So if at least one person is going to step up and say, hey, it's easier for me to hear things, there could be dozens of people. I call that the pitchfork and torch rule. Like, if you're willing to speak up, there's probably a bunch of people who are quieter than you about something. So people love it. And people also, I noticed, Buzz, after you check out of there, love just hearing your voice. Like, whether you like it or not, you're the celebrity in that sense. So it is good. It's good for camaraderie. It's good for getting the message across differently, and sometimes reinforcing things. Complex messages have to be reinforced. So hearing it over and over is good. So stick with Turtle for more updates and stuff like that. Like we said, catch them on Telegram, catch them on the forum. Normally we'd get deeper, but we got a stacked lineup today. And I want to give Buzz an opportunity before we talk to SHIB right up front, while everybody's listening on the edge of their seat, to talk about this giveaway. Buzz, are we giving away money? Is this real? What's going on?
Yeah, the community was really passionate about doing a contest like this, and just basically what our community wanted to see. We put this contest together. So at a very high level, it's the first pinned tweet there. So there's sort of like 2 tracks of rewards. So that there's one where you can qualify for any $100 buy of Canine gets you put into a raffle, and there's other ways to earn points too. So we have a lot of partners amongst this contest, where if you're following them on Twitter, you're earning points. If you're retweeting the buy contest, you're earning points, and you earn points through this task on system. And the link is in that first pinned tweet there. And all you got to do is you got to purchase $100 worth of Canine, and you get put into this raffle. And then the second track, which is our grand prize, is if you purchase $1,000 worth of Canine, you get put into a raffle to win. I think it's about $10,000 worth of Canine that'll be delivered to your wallet as soon as the product goes live in Q3, where you can hopefully use it within the product and get a really great sneak peek at what we're bringing to Shibarium. So that would be a Shibarium focused utility, and really encouraging through this contest that people bridge to Shibarium and start using the Canine product to do what we think it's going to do and bring that utility to Shibarium and hopefully grow the total value locked, the transactional volume there. And so there's a big narrative within this contest of really trying to encourage people to get on Shibarium too, and especially with working with those Shibarium partners.
And I would also shout out to TaskOn for their participation and their help on this. We also are on their front page, if I'm not mistaken. So TaskOn and the list of things that you can follow through them are up there. And then individually, Buzz, can you give me the names of all of the people that contributed, the partners that contributed tokens? Let's give them a little bit of a shout out here since we're recording the spaces. Who are the partners that are part of this?
Yeah, of course. So through this contest, we've been able to, so we're giving away some SHIB, giving away some Bone. So obviously those are our partners. We've partnered with CoinMerge, Bad Idea, Chewy, Mars Swap, and there's also some USDT there that you can earn as well. So, it's Sharby. I forgot Sharby as well. I don't want to forget our friends at Sharby, but all of these partners who have participated in this contest have been very supportive and really want to do more of these activations and working with all Shibarium projects to help Shibarium grow, because ultimately that is the DAO mission of Canine. It's to bring DeFi to Shibarium, which by doing that, we believe it's going to benefit the SHIB token. And that's kind of what we've been talking about this week as a relative theme of alpha. And a lot of our tokens within the Canine token economics are for this retroactive airdrop. And we've talked about wallet provenance and how someone could become eligible to receive that airdrop after the product launches. And many of those activities are going to be, have you bridged to Shibarium? Have you used Shiba Swap? Have you used Chewy Swap? Have you used the Canine product? Have you voted within our DAO? So all of those actions that are proving a wallet to be a really great community member, not just with buying or holding, but with just active participation in the broader Shibarium ecosystem that we're supporting. All of those actions are going to be rewarded with those token economics. And I just got a message that I may have forgotten Woof Swap in that shout out too. So I want to shout out Woof Swap as well.
That's an excellent list. Now, I'm being cognizant of time because I know everybody wants to hear the SHIB. I got one more person I know is chomping at the bit to have a conversation about what they've been working on, because SHIB is here and they're listening and Buzz is here. And that's going to be Meyer, because we haven't really gone into Eth Toronto. We've been focused on other stuff. But oh boy, is that getting close. And I know this guy is excited to have SHIB and Canine in the same place, in the same space. So what have you been cooking, my guy? We haven't heard from you in a little bit. What's up with Eth Toronto this year?
Hey guys, yeah, Eth Toronto is rocking and rolling. The bull run, the meme season is all in full effect. Obviously, Canine and SHIB are going to be huge partners. We have signed both of them on right now as sponsors, and actually a few other SHIB projects are coming on as sponsors as well. We'll have a booth. The numbers are blowing out of the waters of last year. We're definitely going to be surpassing last year's numbers. All the hype is coming to Toronto again. It's a really great place to be. It is the first event SHIB ever did, so it's great to see that they're coming back and going to do it bigger than ever. So if you haven't already registered or looking to register, just here's a little alpha for you guys. Let's just say SHIB is giving away a ton of tokens very soon, so look for that announcement and make sure you grab one of those tickets. And see you guys in Toronto. I mean, outside of that, I'm just super excited about this call, and the market is holding up real well. So we're really excited for August again.
I cannot stress the importance of getting together for these conferences. Even if you've only ever made it to one of these, you would understand the importance that these things can have, meeting people. What my thing is, because I've experienced this in other parts of my life, so if you've ever gone to cons or conventions or places where people in your niche interest have gathered for an event, you might feel sometimes like wherever you are right now, you're the only person that's into that weird thing that you like. I don't know, like dog coins. But sometimes you go to a place like Eth Toronto, and then maybe you meet a lot of other people, and suddenly you realize you're not that only person, and that the things you hear about online are actually real. And you get a chance to see the physicality behind it and sit in the booths, and you get a taste that the money is actually changing hands, and you see the after parties, and it's like, damn, I gotta figure out more about this. So almost everybody that I know that has ever taken the time, effort, and money to go to a conference came out of it with a very different perspective. I don't want to call it crypto washed, but they're definitely taking the pill, I think, after going. So I would say that between now and then, if you guys aren't getting hyped about taking the trip up there, if you don't have your passport, you better get it. And if you're able to get up to Toronto, you need to get up there because the K9 crew is rolling in mob deep. They're going to be there with SHIB. There's going to be merch. There's going to be people wearing the jackets and all these cool things. And you're going to see people like Mr. Lightspeed is going to be there. That's one person I know is going to be there. And I'm super hyped for those of you that have never had a chance to meet Mr. Lightspeed because he's a real damn person. And you're going to get a chance to meet it for yourself. The myths are all true. And some of the other crew will be there. You're going to get a chance to see things. I bet Shiba Cows is going to have stuff there. So Meyer's the guy in this situation. You guys, if you need anything from a project perspective, you got to connect with him here. Send him a DM, connect with him on Telegram. If you need anything from a retail perspective, meaning you're just interested in going, then stay the hell out of his DMs. He ain't got time for that. You need to find a different way to get in. Come to the K9 Telegram and ask, what are we doing? Who's driving the bus up there across Niagara Falls? I don't know if there's a K9 bus, but I just made that up. We got to figure it out. So that's what I'm excited about. And I don't want to wait any longer because now we talked about everything that I want to get up front. And you guys can scoot to the edge of your seat now. And I want SHIB to be good and ready because we're going to get into this interview with SHIB Token. And literally the first thing they say, even though it's going to be hello or hi or whatever it's going to be, is just so important to me. So the first thing I'd like to say to the SHIB Token account before they even have to speak is, we appreciate you choosing to be here. Like I said up front, you could have done this in so many places. I know how many requests for interviews and media reach and all the other influencers and stuff, and all the times you've swatted away that stuff. So we are all very cognizant of the choice to be here with us, to be here now. So what I want to say to you is thank you and hello.
Hello, how's it going, everyone? Nice to be here.
It's nice to hear your voice, man. Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no pressure.
No, none at all.
I'm excited.
Good. Well, I hope, like I said, I hope we've made it feel a little bit more at home. So if you want, you can kick your shoes off because it's going to be that type of interview. I don't want you to feel like you're under any pressure.
Yeah, perfect, man. That's good.
So I talked to a lot of people this week, as you can imagine, that knew that this was going to happen and that we'd have this sit down. And I know Buzz got these DMs, and I bet everybody that knew they were going to have a seat at this table today got messages like this. What are you going to ask the SHIB account? What are you going to talk about? And the answer is so many of the things that I think a lot of people have wondered, because the biggest questions are often the simplest questions. So I've got a list of things that I kind of compiled that I thought were more common than not. And what I want to start with is just these questions, because I think from a community perspective, these are great. So on a broad level, if you can tell me, you don't have to go too deep into the personal stuff, but how did you all the way back get involved in Shiba Inu?
I suppose that there's probably a long story and a short story, so I suppose I'll keep it brief. So really, I discovered SHIB pretty much just through Uniswap. When Uniswap came out, everybody was jumping in and out tokens, trying to flip them, much like what we see today with Base and Solana, meme coins, etc. So really, that's how I initially discovered SHIB, and I obviously hopped in the Telegram, and just sort of went from there. Obviously, my initial bag sort of went up, and then nuked just like everything else to start with, and then because it was like a community project, it was, if you want something to be done, then you have to step up and do it. And around about that time, Ryoshi was asking for help with sort of web dev, and I had a little bit of web development experience through uni, so I thought, there's not many people on the Telegram here. I'll try and chip in where I can, and then one thing led to another, and the original Twitter account got compromised that Ryoshi had, and then he put in the Telegram asking if the community could take that over, and that's when I sort of stepped up and grabbed a lot of the SHIB socials that we have today, and really that's it in a condensed form.
That is such a ground level story, and I connect with that. And I think a lot of the people in here that have, I see people like Funk and 2% that are in the speakers, and a lot of people in the listeners that I know have done community takeovers or can you help me grab a shovel and dig this ditch type of work in cryptocurrency. You run into that all the time, even in the baby DAO, like the type of DAO that doesn't even know it's a DAO yet, where it's just people asking for help. And the idea that you are where you are with the account you've got, and it just started so surreptitiously is awesome. You mentioned that this was something that Ryoshi needed web development work with. You're one of the few people here, I certainly don't go back far enough to know this, that was working with and working around Ryoshi at that time. And I'm second generation with everything Shiba Inu. I'm here in the second age of Satoshi. So what was it like being back then working with Ryoshi on this stuff? Can you give us a little taste of that?
I suppose it's very different to what it is now. I suppose, there was a lot less pressure back then. There was a lot less pressure to deliver. The community was quite small, so the community, sorry, the sense of the community was still there. And Ryoshi, obviously I liked the vision for SHIB, but I think they really just wanted to see what would happen organically. As everybody knows, SHIB was set up as an experiment, and it certainly lived up to that in the early days. We had some interesting, crazy website designs, the logo creation, and even rogue devs along the way. But I think all these experiences and all these lessons that we sort of learned helped sort of weed out bad actors and helped to really form the community that we have today. And I think, although Ryoshi never really said it anywhere, I think that they really love the sort of chaos and energy of the experiment, really.
That's funny. You're giving me a perfect segue, and I'm going to ask one more question. Then I'm going to kind of open it up to the guys on the panel because it is my natural tendency to hog these things, and I'm sure everybody else has got some more questions. But when you say the natural chaos and energy, my vibe that I've always got from reading the stuff from Ryoshi and from what I feel like Satoshi has always done, which is try to continue that same vibe. I personally give a lot of the vibe from SHIB still to Ryoshi with the Japanese style of art and stuff. The chaos is a great part of that. What were you thinking? Because you were around at the time of the Vitalik donation, and you got to participate in the idea that the donation happened to Vitalik, and probably a lot of people were thrilled about this, that they treated it as the dead wallet and stuff, and then eventually the sale of those tokens, and then the reversal of fortune in that how much it benefited India, and then the huge amount of support that SHIB received eventually from the Indian continent, sub-Indian continent, all the holders and stuff that benefited from that. Is that one of your big memories? Because I think of that as like a huge segment of SHIB's history. What was that like?
Yeah, totally. I mean, again, there's, I've been here since probably about an hour since the token launch, so I've got a few memories. I think, just thinking back at the Telegram and thinking back about, the people that were originally there and just the hopes and dreams that this project would become something. So many projects don't and they fade into oblivion. But just to sit here and even be on the spaces now, and we're approaching almost 4 million followers, and we even overtook Doge's market cap at one point. It's pretty surreal. But I think you hit it on the head there with Vitalik's donation for the crypto relief. I think at the time it was maybe about $1 billion, and I think to me that probably is the highlight or one of my favorite SHIB memories. I think it really cemented the SHIB community into the history books. It really sort of validated our project and its legitimacy. It really sort of, to me, it hit home sort of the power of the SHIB army sort of on a global scale. And at the time, I think there was quite a lot of fun about it and people adopted tokens and all that. But, looking back now, I think that was a real piece of history. And I think, not many projects out there can lay claim to that. And I think it's really testament to the power of the SHIB army and the power of this project as a whole. So I think I would totally agree with you on that, man.
I think it really galvanized the holders from where I was sitting. It was something like it was either washing you out completely because you were upset or you became diehard at that point. And I think that was what was so important to me to see it because at the time I was on the outside looking in and it was all news to me. It was not something that happened to me emotionally or as a participant, but it is so wild looking back because it did end up being so beneficial because the adoption in that area is still epic. There's still so much trading volume and still so much activity for the SHIB community in those areas. And I don't think that's ever going to go away. It was like you said, the chaos of Ryoshi's vision. I feel like it was a chaotic good. I want to go in the same order that I kind of introduced everybody. I know everybody's dying to get at least one question in and get a chance to ask you a question, a very respectful question. And I want to go to Buzz first because it's the K9 show. And I want to go Buzz Turtle Meyer, and then we'll work our way through the rest of the crowd if we can. So Buzz, you're up first.
Yeah. I mean, this is awesome because, like you said, Shane, how you're a second generation Shibazin, I guess you could say. I'm probably third generation. And I would just love to hear your perspective from behind the SHIB account of like what Ryoshi would feel and what he would think about where SHIB has become. and what SHIB has become, and how Shibarium's going. Like what do you think his thought process would be behind that, and how would he feel?
Yeah, I suppose I don't know if they'll be here listening to on an honest account or whatever, but I can't really speak for them, but I can really just say that I think SHIB's always been a community-driven project, and I think Ryoshi did set out the initial vision and his plan, but I think really it's the community that's brought that to life. Obviously, Ryoshi left the project pretty early, not active anymore. So really, it was down to the community to step up and sort of drive that forward. I think most of the deliverables that Ryoshi set out have pretty much been accomplished. There's still a little bit to go, but I think the power of the SHIB army. I don't think anybody would disagree that we're probably the greatest community on the internet. So I suppose in Ryoshi's vision, if he set out to create an experiment in community building, then I don't think anybody would disagree that we completely nailed that. And yeah.
That's great. Turtle, you're going to be up next.
Yeah, I actually am going to lean in the K9 finance direction. I think others may have better SHIB questions. I don't want to take anyone else's questions, so I'll hold off on that one. But what got you here, right? What got you excited enough about what K9 finance is doing to make this your entrance into the VC world? Voice chat being VC.
Yeah, so it's a very good question. I think really just looking at particularly what K9 are doing. Ryoshi was always a big advocate of community, and if you want something, build it. And K9 are doing exactly that. They're stepping up. They're putting the time, the effort, their own money, whatever it may be, into building on Shibarium, etc. So I think that's partly why, to start with.
Yeah, that's great. Appreciate you.
Looks like I had Meyer up here and then he dropped down. He may end up having a connection problem. So I'm going to rotate around. Archangel, you want to go up next? You got any questions?
Archangel sent me a message. He had a call for work, so
No
we can
worries.
probably move on to the next.
No worries. We can keep his account look there. It looks great parked up there in the speaker spot. Looks good. Dijark, we got you up here in the speaker spot. Do you have a question for the SHIB account? Thanks for stopping by today.
Oh, thanks, Shane. Thanks, boss. And thanks to all the speakers. Good evening, everyone. I'm just excited to be here. Looking forward to our Roundtable of Dogs discussion tomorrow. My question revolves really around Shibarium. How do you feel about Shibarium in terms of being around Ryoshi? Do you feel we are getting there in achieving Ryoshi's vision? Thank you.
Yeah, we're still early days in Shibarium, and there's a long road to go. We still need to see more things built in Shibarium, but I think given the fact that there is community projects springing up and people are building on Shibarium, it's a starting block. So there's a long way to go for sure. Obviously, I can't speak for Ryoshi and just my personal opinions, but we've got a starting block now, and it's really down to the community and everybody else to sort of build around that and make Shibarium, somewhere that everybody wants to come and develop on for sure.
Thank you.
Next up, I'm going in order of Shiboshis now, just because it's convenient. Maximus, you're up next.
Hey, my question was a little bit the same as Digard, but I will change it a little bit. So I will just ask this. Considering that Ryoshi had the whole vision and Shibarium was already in the ideas and everything was already being defined, how was it to work with Ryoshi? How was it? How was Ryoshi as a person, as a leader, and as a project colleague?
Well, that's a very good question. I suppose back then, it was. It's kind of hard to explain. Ryoshi was always present in the Telegram, and he loved his WWE memes. I don't know if it's a he, so apologies, but they loved their WWE memes, and they were right from the start. Like you could tell they had a sort of aura about them, mean, I don't know about it's like the anonymous name, or nobody really knew who they were, and there was rumors going about who it was. Was it Vitalik? Nobody really knew, and in DMs with them, and I hope they don't make me share them, but I remember that they said they had close connections to Charlie Lee, so at the time I sort of knew that this person wasn't just some random person. It's just great. The token, this sort of person knew what they were doing, and it sort of made sense with the plan and everything they laid out. But yeah, they definitely had some sort of aura about them, and I think that's really reflected in even today. Everybody still speaks about them fondly, and whatever they're doing, wherever they are, I hope that they're doing well, and I probably speak on behalf of the community. I extend the gratitude to them for kicking this thing off and putting the vision out there, and just seeing what happens. And I hope they're sitting out there somewhere on a beach with a mojito or something, and enjoying seeing what's happened. So yeah.
That's a beautiful sentiment, and I love the idea that one of the things that'll come out of this chat is SHIB token account wishes Ryoshi happy beach sitting or whatever comes out of that. No, because I think a lot of people would, right? Because if he's not here, it inspired a lot of people, and I love that you guys are asking. That's a few people now that have asked, like, what was it like to be around this guy, or this person? What was it like to work with this person? There's just something about being in the room with people that have got that spark. You know what I mean? Like, there's some people that are alive, and then there are some people that are like really alive, and you're like, damn. Like you get in the room. I imagine it's what like Dwayne Johnson smells like. Like I assume that he's got that zing. You know what I mean? There's just something there. that most electrifying man in the ring energy. And since Ryoshi loves wrestling, I chose that specifically to go that direction. Shout out Ryoshi if you're listening. I'm gonna go. I want to get Maz and Funk, but 2% threw the hand up. I saw you throw that hand up. 2%. What, I get you with a wrestling reference? Is that it? Go ahead.
Yeah, one question. You brought it up. It's along those lines. So for the SHIB account, SHIB obviously is a top 10 token. I mean, there's a story to be told there. You guys have had a lot of success. From your experience, like, do you have any good stories or anything around, like, what was the defining moment, or what was something that you were like, oh, wow, like, this really put us to the next level?
Very good question. I suppose there's probably been a lot of small things along the way. I think really when Elon tweeted about Doge, I think that was the point where a lot of people started to take notice of SHIB, rightly or wrongly, but that's all what really kicked it off. I think also the Vitalik donation to COVID, and I think really just having a secure channel, having a secure account, having the main account which has been secure and not being compromised, and all the rest of it is really enabled a solid foundation. I think the SHIB Army have a massive part to play in where we are today. I mean, obviously, not everyone's a developer, not everyone's a web developer, etc. But the community still play absolute massive part in spreading the word about SHIB, spreading it to new investors, spreading it to everybody else, and and letting everybody else know that we're not going to go away, and we have evolved from a meme token to a serious player in different fields, and we're here to stay, and like you said, we're a top 10 token now, so it's pretty crazy.
So I'm going to go to Maz next, and then Funk, and then I saved myself one good greedy question, and then we'll head towards the wrap up, because as you guys know, we do a swift hard hour here. We want to get the SHIB token out the door. They've got stuff to do, and you all should have stuff to do by now. Anyway, it's been an hour. We're all sitting here in the middle of the day, and the best part is this doesn't mean this is the only time we're ever going to talk to them. It just means you have to come back the next time we get together. So don't be mad when we cut off early. Maz, up here with the SHIB token. I know you're excited. You got a question?
Well, actually, no, it's not as much a question, but just, I mean, after 3 years, I guess I got to be pointed out that you really took the role to heart from the message that was sent out by Ryoshi. Put up the account, and 3 years later, you're still posting. I can see like the pin message, the tutorial for Shibarium, usage, like just helping out SHIB Army members. I guess it's just a salute. That's all I want to do.
Dude, Maz is the most respectful guy in the game. SHIB, you've heard Maz speak before. I'm sure you've been somewhere and heard him before, right? That silky smooth voice.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah,
Thank you, Maz.
I was just going to say, yeah, thanks, Maz. I think I think it's kind of a weird one, because ultimately I'm just a community member that was here early and was able to secure the accounts and whatever, and it's pretty tricky sort of posting from an account with near enough 4 million followers. Something I don't have a background in marketing, etc. So I think I get the most fun out of the account when I just try and not think about it, and I just sort of just go with my instincts and just try and have a laugh and have a joke with the community. And I think that's the most powerful thing, and I think that it resonates with the community for sure.
Definitely, that's definitely a big part of the SHIB Army vibe. I mean, just just having fun a bit, yeah. But yep, definitely. Major props for these tutorials and these warnings and everything. Just helping out the community like that. It's great. Still 3 years going.
Feels a lot longer than 3 years, but no, totally, man. Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you for coming by, Maz. I can't get enough when you stop by Spaces. Appreciate you for coming in. Funk, we're talking to a Spaces OG over here. These guys have been doing this account for 3 years. I know you're going to have some questions because Funk has some experience running X accounts similar. So what do you got, Funk?
Hey, my question isn't around X as much, but I really appreciate you coming on here, and I don't want to put you on the spot with this question. So if you just want to say no comment, you can say no comment. But I got into Shiba Inu. I invested in February 2021, long before Elon tweeted, and I kind of held for a month or two before that first Elon tweet kind of happened. And so my lore is pretty strong up until that point, but there seems to be some missing lore from Shiba Inu about the who launched the token, when the token launched originally, and was it a community takeover where Ryoshi and Satoshi kind of took over? Is there any information or insight you can give? And if you can't, just say no comment.
Well, it was Ryoshi that launched it back in the day. It wasn't really a community takeover at all. I mean, I think Ryoshi was in the Telegram active, and he launched it, and he had the vision and he had the set plan, but I think really he put it down to everybody in the Telegram at the time, if you want to get there, then, because originally Ryoshi had the website, his friend was hosting it, and then his friend was going to pull it down, and I think Ryoshi really just wanted the community to step up and create something. Even just, I suppose, shout out to Paradox. I seen he was listening, and in the Telegram, Ryoshi was asking for a new logo and stuff. So it wasn't really a community takeover. Ryoshi was definitely there asking for help to build the project and to take it forward. And yeah, I mean, I suppose the dates and times when it launched, I don't know off the top of my head, but it certainly wasn't a community takeover. I mean, I suppose maybe that happened organically after Ryoshi decided to sort of take a step back, and then anybody who was really willing to grab the bull by the horn sort of did so, and then that's where we see sort of Shy and Cal and everybody else that's sort of developing and doing stuff today sort of came from.
Right. Laid out the vision and left it to the SHIB Army, and SHIB Army members just like Satoshi rose up and started building the vision. Now, Satoshi is pretty much the architect of the Ryoshi vision, and has brought Shiba Swap, Shibarium, just backbone of the vision to life, and just keeps delivering. We've got Shiba Swap, Shiba Eternity, Shiba Hub, the SHIB Magazine, SHIB the
That is the
Metaverse,
only dude that
along
asked
with
a
innovations
legitimate
that bring new
question.
use
And now
on
listen
chain,
to this
like
Maz
SHIB
guy,
Identity,
who was me
or
blocked, by the way. Come in
that's
here
the SHIB stake on
and just
self-serving
lead
identity, as
people
well as
down a
copyright
different
on chain, maybe in
direction.
the
The
future with
Satoshi is the leader
CDSA,
here.
right?
Dude, this
SHIB
is...
is stepping up in all sectors as per the vision.
And not only, just to go with your metaphor, Maz, because I'll build on it because it was so beautiful. If Ryoshi had the vision as the designer, and Satoshi is the architect, which is the person who takes the designer and shackles him to physics and the laws of what is capable and what can be done, then you have your engineers coming next. And those are the people like Buzz, the people like Turtle, the people that are building dApps, the people that are building Shibarium. There's a process for putting a skyscraper up, and it starts with a designer, then it goes to the architect, then it goes to the engineers, then it goes to the construction, construction crew, and before you guys can fill up the building, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So shout out to the designers, the dreamers, the architects who are even crazier, and then the engineers too, because it's going to take a hell of a lot of engineers to fill up all that space, man. Mazriel, you get the metaphor now?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Appreciate you, man, for filling
Who
that
asked
in.
that
And Funk,
question?
that's a great question. There is so much lore, dude, and we could do like a whole lore spaces. That would be
You
a great
should
one
do
to
a whole
dive into.
lore
Like,
spaces.
sit down
You
and go
reveal
through the
that
book.
Ryoshi's not real.
Invite me to that one.
Paradox came up. I heard Shib mention Paradox, and I didn't want to leave them down there because I got a free spot in the speakers. Paradox, what's up?
Hey, what's up? Thanks for putting me up here. Just to kind of cover everything, from what I heard, and everything is, really most has been said here with the origins, and I couldn't say anything more, unless but tidbits. Like I remember he was hard with the hammer with banning and kicking people if they're like. Of course, if it was just straight foot, but then there was like questions and and he was, he saw the bullshit, he was different, I'm sure. And
It's funny.
and today how it is, I think it's just totally, it was started as an experiment and now it became just a thing on its own, and I mean, he just kind of, set it free off to the wild, and I gotta say with, how it is today, it really looks really good and really dresses well and is up to par and really just has accumulated a lot of smart and hardworking people in the space. And really, I think really the hardest working people here are in the SHIB space, I'm sure, are the people that are right here. I'm pretty much sure about that.
I would never argue with you. That's a great sentiment. I wouldn't argue with you at all. Paradox has been around for a while, it sounds like. Dude, the idea that you just told me that Ryoshi had a heavy, fast ban hammer is going to go over so well in so many of the communities that are listening right now. You made me laugh.
Yeah, right. It's a fun little thing to remember by him, and also how he was also light on the, he had fun with the gifs and the memes and the, and all the good stuff. And, he had everything that a good founder has, really. And that's, that was a lot of, that wasn't all, and then, I'm not going to go over why we all went into Shiba. That's a whole another thing. But and today, like with the magazine and everything, and all the I could say offsprings and the whole dog thing, it's never gonna die, and how it, it's, and everything is kind of just everything, like the whole fucking movies, like it's all, everything that is not connected to war is just totally just down, and everything is like consolidated, and
so
everyone
one day we need to do an OG space for SHIB, because I know when this account gets up in the speaker spot, it's going to pull people like Paradox out, and they're going to want to have these reminiscent conversations. And this would be so healthy for the ecosystem, for people like this to come out that have these stories and like pour a glass or have a beer and just kick the shit, you guys. Like, this is legitimately why having this account up here is legitimate. And this is the part where I get to be the spaces host, where I'm kind of a jerk. We are coming up on a point where I got to be time cognizant here. So Paradox, I do appreciate you coming up, and SHIB, why don't you respond to him, and then I'm going to take my greedy question before we start to wrap up.
Yeah, Paradox hit it on the head, man. I also didn't enjoy the ban hammer. It was kind of funny. It did take no shit, to be honest. But I think Paradox summed up, man. Ryoshi, whoever they are, they were a great leader, and they sort of set the path and just really just let us do our own thing and let us build, and for that, really, everybody will be grateful.
You got 100% with all that, and how it just how it is still today, that individuals can always just go and find a rope and take it by the rope, and lasso it and do something, you went over, and dude, like, I don't know, but like with like I had like
I got your paradox. I got your paradox. Yeah, I'm going to jump into one more question with him, dude. I'm not trying to be rude and cut you off, but I got that time limit. I want to give everybody a chance to say goodbye. Thank you for stopping by, dude. And the fact that another OG rode up to a K9 finance space is not lost on me, dude. We're collecting them like Infinity Stones, Buzz. They're going to be here. Keep watching. Shib, this is my greedy question. This is me, Pulse Digital, and not K9 Finance. Okay, so I'm a Spaces host. That's what I do, and I do a lot of account management work where you're describing like the gravity of logging into an account with nearly 4 million people, and that when you go in there, you try and just write from a place of fun, like you are speaking my language, because what you're doing is kind of no different than what me and a lot of the people in the audience have done. I see so many people in the audience that are managing brand accounts, whether they're Shibarium projects or otherwise. These guys have like 2 or 3 X accounts that they have to log into. So what sort of responsibility do you feel as the account holder that does this? Because it is simultaneously like a big deal, but you're also not really bound to not be chaotic, and you still maintain a very professional tone. You clearly have like a message. You always wrap up your posts with this is the last post in the thread. Be careful of scams. You're not doing anything by accident. I see the work. What's that feel like to you? What kind of responsibility do you really feel?
It's a very good question, man. I suppose it's something that I tried to really not think about. It's one of these things that, as I said, I don't have a marketing background. I'm just a normal everyday guy that was just early, and sometimes I pinch myself and I think, geez, I need to be careful what I'm saying here. But it is a privilege to actually have the account, and I don't just control the main one. I control most of our affiliates. I own the main Telegram and the old Discord. So most of SHIB's social presence is sort of under my control, and it's kind of like that. I come from a cybersecurity background, so I think the amount of scams and all that out there, I'm always present in mind to make sure the community are always watching out for that and airdrop scams and all the rest of it, because it does hurt when we see get DMs and somebody's lost funds to a scammer and whatever. So, but no, it's a complete privilege to have the main account, and I think I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast one time, and he said that he posts and ghosts. And I think, when I heard that, it really sort of resonated with me. And I think it's very easy to post something and look at the comments and get weighed down by that. It's sort of a personal attack, when I'm really just sort of a messenger for whatever's going on. And it can be quite difficult sometimes. So that posting ghost and just sort of let that post sit there and then maybe check it later on, but just not to kind of get bogged down by that. But I think, I suppose a final point in that is, behind the scenes, the responsibility of the main account is very much real, as are the consequences, if something should happen. And, I do take that very seriously, and Ryoshi sort of trusted me with that. And it's something that I'm proud of that I'm able to do. It's sort of my own way of contributing to the community. Of course, I'm not a developer, I'm not a blockchain dev or whatever. So it's my own little piece of the community that I can do and I can contribute. And hopefully I do a good job. I mean, again, it's one of these things. It's a learning experience for me. And, I'm just a community member, but, I'm growing with everybody else. And I always have the best interest of this project at heart. I'll never sell out and compromise the account or whatever. So as long as the backbone's there for the ecosystem with the main account and other accounts, then it's down to everybody else to build and fulfill Ryoshi's vision.
That's an audio clip right there, folks. That's what you're coming here for. That was so good to hear that answer. And I love that as a creator. Everybody that's listening, 2%, I'm staring straight at your profile picture. Post, then ghost. That came straight from the guy who's running a SHIB account, who's got 4 million followers. Shit posting is my love language. I'm sorry, it's just what I do. And when I run these other accounts, I tell you guys, if you knew what went through my mind when I decided to post, I couldn't quantify how I run these accounts, but it broadens my perspective to think that you're doing the same thing, dude. I appreciate your answers, and I appreciate you letting us get a glimpse at your process, because I know that's a weird question. With the time that we have today, what I want to do, because I literally have like 3 minutes before I got to close it out, I got a client walking in the door, is I'm going to let Buzz have final thoughts today, because we didn't get to do Buzz's corner, but I know the dude is electric over there. That's another Buzz joke about how good this has gone today, because you guys, this was a banger. Spaces, I'm so excited. This is going to be quoted in places. You guys, these screenshots matter. Get them now before we go. Everybody hit a rack of emojis so these people can grab their screenshots for me, by the way, because as Buzz is doing his closing, you guys hit those emojis, grab your screenshots, and we're going to figure out a way to get back together. I'm going to throw this out there because I'm a greedy a-hole, but I want to try and figure out a way to get Bad Idea SHIB spaces. I want to make sure that you come back to Canine spaces. I want you to be comfortable in the places where at least I know I am hosting, and that we can provide as a team, as a unit, this cohesive environment of people who aren't going to be shitty. That's all my goal is. My rule is always having fun is number one. So Buzz, final thoughts on this banger spaces for Canine Finance today, week 16. What do you think?
Yeah, just very humbled to sit back and listen to this one. Like I know it's a Canine DAO weekly spaces, but like hearing these, given that myself, I just got into SHIB and Shibarium last summer at Eth Toronto, hearing about Shibarium launching, and just very humbled to hear these stories and be a member, hopefully a valuable member of the broader SHIB community, and hearing about what Ryoshi was like as a leader, and how we can all sort of grab a lasso, like Paradox was saying, and try to fulfill this vision and carry that torch. And just humbled to be able to host this conversation and have everyone here, and get a little bit of goosebumps to get excited about what's to come with SHIB and Shibarium.
Well, Buzz, I want to say from all of us, Buzz, we are proud of you as a community for building on SHIB, for doing the same thing. As I just pointed out, you are fulfilling the same vision that you're lauding other people for doing. So kudos to you, and I'm not just kissing ass. Maz, go ahead real quick.
Oh yeah, definitely valuable, Buzz. Now we got third generation Shibizens already. I had no idea about that.
Does that make you feel old? Is your blue hair turning gray now in that profile picture, bro? Do we need to do a Photoshop? We need a gray streak Maz's profile picture, you guys.
I'm ascending above Super Saiyan God right now. It's crazy.
That's what enlightenment feels like, man. When you finally reach that plane of just existence, that's where you're going to be. All right, guys, we're going to shut it down. Banger spaces. And I want to say on behalf of all of the Canine Finance community, all of the members in the Telegram, and particularly all of the admins and moderators that bust their hump all day to keep those places lively and stuff, we appreciate you. We also appreciate those moderators. Shout out to Crimson Creator, Blind Radar, and all the team. I can't possibly name all of them. But you guys that are going to be listening back, thank you so much for doing this, because I know I'm here on X and you're on Telegram. But we're all family, we're all friends. Thank you to the SHIB token account for letting me do this. I'm so excited. As a Spaces host who's been doing this for so long, your trust in me is appreciated, bro. We're going to take this shit to legendary levels together. We're going to have some great conversations with great people from all across X. I can't wait to do it again. Thanks to Buzz and all of the other team members at Canine Finance that represent the collective that gave me the keys to this account. It's still difficult to explain why it happened, but I'm still driving, baby. And until we hit a tree, we're going to keep doing it. So let's meet back next Thursday for number 17, Canine Finance Weekly DAO Spaces. We'll be here again, baby. I appreciate you. If you were a listener, if you were a speaker, come back next time, and I will see you then. Have a great day.
All right. Well, I actually like that guy talking from Canine Finance, man. I don't know if that guy's got a background in radio or something, but I think that dude can talk. Let's just be very thankful that these dudes did not destroy the price of Shiba Inu coin. But I will say, I had a notepad off to take some notes, and I did not take any notes. I don't think there was any light shed on anything about Shiba Inu coin. And I don't know who asked the question. I actually went back to see, I tried to jump over to the page where I have X open here, and I tried to see who asked the only good question, right? Somebody, and if you guys know who it is, tell me so I can follow them out on X. But they asked, he said, now there's some missing pieces in terms of the lore surrounding the origins of Shiba Inu coin, Ryoshi, and so on. Only one other person. I don't know if these guys are blindfolded. I don't know if they're all trying to perpetuate some sort of a lie or what. But nobody named Ryoshi existed. Okay? Nobody named Ryoshi created Shiba Inu coin and then passed the reins on to Satoshi and so on. The SHIB token Twitter account, Satoshi's account, all of these guys came in out of nowhere with a made-up Ryoshi account, and exactly like that kid said, it, I guess, initiated a community takeover. It would be no different than if I went out and I found some little token that was not doing well, but somehow had 10, 20,000 holders out there. And I said to myself, well, I've got a little bit of a platform. I've got some money. I've got some followers. Let's go out there and initiate a community takeover. I'm going to create I don't know, let's just say a bro coin already exists. I'm going to create a bro coin account. And I'm going to go take over this bro coin because it's already got 20,000 holders, but it hasn't been doing very well. So they created a marketing story about Ryoshi. They created this story so people would follow it. Ryoshi he disappears and leaves total control to Satoshi and so on. And that dude asked a really good question. And they just washed right over that question with literally no regard for answering it. That stuck out to me the most about that entire thing there. I did not like that answer, and I truly think that Ryoshi does not exist. Satoshi is just the community takeover, but overall, I'm glad that they didn't destroy the price of Shiba Inu coin here. I'm trying to let me get all this set back up so it's good to go. And then we can kind of go into a little bit of a live stream here. I'm not going to do an entire live stream since we've already been sitting here for an hour. I still have to record a video for this evening and so on and stuff. But do you guys have any additional questions? Maybe you were listening. Maybe something stuck out to you I kid, because I still have to do like a follow-up video. I'm going to do a little video on Shiba Inu Coin and Dogeverse tonight. So if anything stuck out to you, let me know right now so I can kind of go over it in the video or give my thoughts on it in the video for this evening, because it still doesn't make sense to me that after 3 years of anonymity, this guy would reveal himself. What does Shiba Inu Coin have to gain other than self-fame for this kid to come out and ruin that anonymity? What does Shiba Inu Coin have to gain from that? What does Shiba Inu Coin have to gain from knowing that this kid doesn't have a marketing background? That this kid doesn't have any experience? That this kid doesn't have or even consider what he's about to tweet or think that it has any implication on the price of Shiba Inu Coin and so on? What does the SHIB army have to gain from hearing these answers today? Y'all down for an experiment? Jonathan, let's hear it, man. Clay, bro, you look like disappointment. Did you expect anything less from these guys? No, Troy, I do find it very interesting that they allowed us to hear all of this. But at the same time, I think they would have been much better off, dude. They got to look at their strategy, right? They got to look at their strategy. There's 450 people in here. That's a lot more than there's normally in here. Normally there's like 200. So these guys are coming from somewhere. I don't know how much they had in their space. Did it say? 132,000 views on their... Okay, on that post. They had 1.3 thousand people tuned in, so a little bit more than we have here. But yeah, they had 1.3 thousand people tuned in there. Now the interesting part is that's very, very low. 1.3 thousand people, considering the SHIB token Twitter account or X account has 4 million followers on it. So it's not that good, but it's nowhere near what it was. The very first space they did with Queenie that one day, and we were up way too late. I think that had well over 10,000 people in that space. It's about branding, my guy, but they're ruining the brand, Charles. Unless you're talking about the Ryoshi, then I completely agree with you, right? Creating that idea, creating that marketing, creating that brand where Satoshi steps in, he's the leader, and so on. Then I agree with you. If you're talking about what they did today, I don't think that was a good idea for the brand. At least Sloth is going up. Yes, at least Sloth is going up. Sloth is looking very good. I'm making some money on Sloth. Anybody? Mats, you get some Sloth? You got to be doing pretty good on that. Let's see. Hope that guy doesn't make more than $7.25 an hour. Ted, he probably does, man. He probably does. That dude probably goes out, and when the Bugatti, the luggage salesman, when they did that NFT project, dude, he probably gets, $20,000 to post that out on Twitter, and then he probably makes 10% off of each one of their sales, and they probably sold $200,000. So just for doing the deal with Bugatti, those little suitcases, he probably made $40,000 on that. He probably, John Richmond and those guys, he probably makes 10% of John Richmond, and John Richmond probably paid him $10,000 to post about John Richmond. Same deal with Wellies. So he's making more than $7.25 an hour. He's probably making probably several $100,000 a year tweeting once or twice a week from the SHIB Token Twitter account. The guy is really trying to make money. Yeah, and you know what, Panda? I really don't mind people trying to make money. I want to make as much money as possible. I want to make as much money as possible. I want you to make as much money as possible. I have no issues with making money. The only issue that I hold with these guys is that they do it under the disguise of working for Shiba Inu Coin, right? If they simply said that they are building, or if they did, even if they contributed just 1% to Shiba Inu Coin, man, I'm down for that. But you gotta put your money where your mouth is, and you gotta stay honest with people. And I don't necessarily think they're doing that. Let's see. Let's all buy $2 worth. Jonathan, we talking about buying $2 worth of SHIB? I don't think the 400 of us buying $2 worth of SHIB would do anything. Where's the positivity? Well, after that, I don't have much positivity. Tyler, if you can provide something, the only positivity I have with that is that I don't think that he came out and did anything terribly stupid. All right, I do think that they buried a very difficult question that he did not know how to answer. And you can kind of tell the lack of details surrounding something usually indicates that it might be made up. And just the lack of details about the entire origin, and then not wanting to fill in the blanks. Somebody asking about the blanks. Well, there's some parts of this lore that are missing here. And they simply say, no, there's not. No, there's not. That doesn't answer the question. So, I get it, right? As somebody who has to come on here and talk every day for 2 hours worth of live streams, do videos, and so on, you do become very good at being able to field questions, read questions, and respond to questions, and so on. So, in a certain sense, I don't know what this kid does, right? I don't know what sort of level of storyteller or level of liar he may be, but people do get better at that with practice. I don't think he did a very good job of kind of like covering up the idea that Ryoshi's not real. I think he could have done a much better job than that if he has a little bit more practice with that. So his kind of unwillingness to answer the question, to me, just solidifies the fact a little bit. I truly believe that was a waste of time. Nothing about usage or burning Shiba Inu Coin. I don't think it was supposed to be about usage or burning Shiba Inu Coin. Giovanni, I think it was set up to be a little bit more of a waste of time, only to get attention on to K9 Finance, right? I think that was the goal. So K9 Finance is a partner of Shiba Inu, partner of the ecosystem team. Can't say Shiba Inu Coin. So knowing that it's a partner of the ecosystem team, I would not doubt that the guys at K9 Finance are at least 10% indebted to the ecosystem team there. So if they can go out and, like they did, 139,000 views on that post, if they can go out and get an additional 1,000, 2,000, 10,000 holders and bump the price of their token up, he's going to be making a lot of money. And I think that was the intention. I think it was just to get people, because that guy's got 4 million followers on his X account. He could have hosted his own space. He could have had that guy who did a very good job. The guy from K9 Finance does a very good job of speaking. So he could have had that guy come over. He could have had that guy host it on his account. But they didn't do it, man. They didn't do it. They did it on K9 Finance, and it was a marketing ploy for K9 Finance. After listening to that, has me over here asking for my brain cells back. What he can say. Never heard someone talk so much about nothing. Dude, you know what, Ken, bro? I feel like I talk a lot about nothing quite often, so I hope you guys don't feel that way about me, but I do agree. Well, the fact that they buried his question with word salad should be telling. Charles, to me it is, man. To me it is. Who were they talking about when they talked about Ryoshi? Like you said, Ryoshi doesn't exist. So, Giovanni, excellent question. I do not know who was behind the Ryoshi account, because there was a Ryoshi Twitter account. There's a Shitoshi Twitter account, right? I don't know if the kid that we just heard runs all of them. I don't know if Shitoshi ran the Ryoshi account as well. I don't know if that was just some other member of the team, and they kind of ousted that guy and told him that he's no longer able to be around. He's no longer a part of the team, the same way that they ousted other members and essentially fired them from the ecosystem team, kind of the same way Milkshake just disappeared out into nowhere. Ryoshi just disappeared out into nowhere. So, I don't know who ran that account, but it was not the creator of Shiba Inu Coin. Right? It's the story that they wanted to tell. And, dude, if they can prove me wrong, man. All of the evidence kind of points to just the marketing of a Ryoshi story. And similarities between other stories that captivate humans throughout time. So I think whoever came up with it, this kid, he's either read a lot of books, this kid either knows how to captivate an audience, he's studied cults, he's done something to know how to get these people to follow what he says. Waiting for Slothana to reach 50 cents. If not, then I'm okay to lose. Manja D. Or if Slothana goes to 50, I don't think I'm going to make it to 50 cents. That would be too much money. I'd probably get out before 50 cents on Slothana. Let's see. So far, it's in the green, like $10. Let's start a domino effect, y'all. Let's do it, Jonathan. If anybody that wants to go out and buy with Jonathan, $10 buy right now. Q&A is there for a reason, not to prop him. Yeah, so Panda, I don't think it was necessarily a Q&A, right? I think it was just like a softball kind of let me ask you these pre-proposed questions, and then you come out with answers that you want to tell the story on. Shitoshi doesn't sound like that. Well, you don't know what Shitoshi sounds like. Nobody's ever heard Shitoshi speak. Let's see. Indeed, you said it, bro. It's Kid. Kira Project. My kid, man. I don't know how old that kid is. I would call me a kid, right? It's just what I call another guy. Let's see. Okay, folks. It's really Clay behind it all. And he doubles as a Nigerian prince. So send him all of your money. Do it. Send me all of the money that you want to send me. However, dude, I would do things differently if I was behind it all. I would do things differently if I was behind it all. Thankfully, the speech did not affect SHIB, and we are continuing to track with Bitcoin. Yeah, Dylan, dead serious? I'm glad that there were only 1.3 thousand people listening to that. I am, man. I think that could have been a lot worse than they made it. Let's go Slothana. Jose, man. You got Slothana too? I got a lot of Slothana. Sorry, Clay, but listening to all that was very frustrating. Wasn't expecting much. Was expecting to hear a little something. Dude, I would have expected a little bit more from the first time ever that the SHIB token Twitter account talks. Can't stay, just saying hello. Hello and goodbye, JB. Glad to have you in here, man. Bought on a 10-minute chase yesterday, once a week. Try to catch up the bottom of the dip. There you go, Dylan. Not a bad idea. Chicken when y'all buy some. Okay, Jonathan, absolutely, man. Have you seen Leonard? I have not. Just bought $10. Worth of Leonard or worth of Shiba Inu coin there? Let me refresh this page here. Oh, yeah, alright. Well, Slothana is actually looking pretty good here. Just wicking down and wicking back up a little bit. That's why I didn't think I could see it on the chart there. But I can see it on the chart. And it just looks like that because I can't see the candle bar or the wicks on my YouTube page here. Bone and Leash won't benefit from K9 either. Yeah, Black Ski Mask Life. You know, I think the entire idea behind this K9 finance is that they've got that liquid staking. So you can essentially stake your bone and then you still use the amount of money that you have staked in bone to go and buy other assets and so on. Essentially taking out a huge loan or having a massive margin account open. So it is dangerous if you decide to do what they want you to do there. But, yeah, man, I don't think that they're going to benefit much from it. I think the team, or I think this kid behind the SHIB Token Twitter account, they haven't been too active lately. And the money that he made, I think it was maybe I don't know, did they do the sales for those suitcases? I forget if that was the last thing that they sold or what. Maybe Tangent Wallets. I don't know if it was Tangent Wallets or if it was the suitcases or what. But I don't know if that kid sold anything recently, so he's probably looking for another infusion of cash and needed to pump his K9 finance a little bit. Dark Bro, McDance with a dono. I don't know if Dark Bro's in here right now. Serious as a heart attack. Y'all better get HRM, in my opinion, before the Paul chain launch. Yeah, I'm still sitting on all my honorarium, man. I'm still sitting on all my honorarium there. Let's see, like 1.3 thousand total viewers on their space account. That is not a lot of viewers compared to the 4 million people reach that they should have there. I mean, they did have a lot of views on the overall post. Like, a lot of people did see it there, but 1.3 thousand viewers on the actual space probably wasn't too much. But guys, I'm gonna need to get off here because since I went live earlier, I don't have anything prepared for this evening. I'm gonna need to get a video recorded for this evening, and I'm probably gonna be ending the stream here just in the next couple of minutes, a little bit earlier than normal, clearly, but we started at 3 instead of starting at 4 here. So I'm going to tell you guys to get your names in the chat right now. We're going to do some shout-outs. We'll be back with videos tonight, man. So thank you guys all for listening to SHIB Token speak for the very first time. I absolutely appreciate that. And, yeah, we're going to have to do some more research on Ryoshi research there, Giovanni. Definitely. Yeah, but blank paper. Quick vid. I do have my notepad. I got my notepad open on this screen right here, and it's literally blank. I didn't type anything during that entire meeting. Please come back with something other than that was a waste of time. Charles, I will try my best. Okay, I'm going to do a combination video, Shiba Inu Coin, Dogeverse, and try just to do a little bit of a summary. So, honestly, if you're sitting here listening to me try to summarize it might be very, very similar in that regard. But, yeah, I'm going to try and do it some justice. I don't know. We'll figure out what happens with it. But I do appreciate all you guys for being in here, man. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please click the subscribe button on your way out. Your name's going to show at the top of the page. A little bit more people in here than normal. So I do appreciate you guys coming in, especially if you're brand new. Would love to see you back tomorrow morning. We're here tomorrow morning at noon Eastern time. Of course, we do 2 live streams a day. So whichever one works out for you. I'd still love to see you subscribed, and thank you guys. I know we cracked 128,000 subscribers today, so thank you guys very much for making that happen. Appreciate every single one of you. Charles, man, thank you very much for subscribing. We'll do these shout-outs, and then we'll be back a little bit later with videos tonight, man. Jonathan, see you later. We got Black Ski Mask, Akira, see you later. Jonathan, we got Mike Pell, see you later. Moji, see you later, Moji. We got Black Ski Mask, Giovanni, Maurice, boom, later, bros. Moji, Dylan K. We got Charles Bosnack. See you later, Charles. Bobcat, bro. Bye-bye to you. Master, bye-bye. Jeffrey, Giovanni, Ted, have a great one. Akira, we got DD214. Later to you, Moji, Twain, the gamer. T-Wayne. Not Twain. T-Wayne, man. Jonathan, all of you guys, you know what time it is. You want to say it with me. Say it with me. Till the next time, hope to each and every one of you have an awesome day.